And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, December 8th, 2018. It is Season 12, Episode 44. And I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Matt.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Real quick, going to do this while I'm thinking about it real fast, and do the snap. There. All done. Don't clap, clap. We all good. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228. You can get to ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We're streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv. And you can find us there and join in the chat room live while we broadcast. If you go to twitch.tv, just type in In-Game Chat on the search bar there, and you'll be able to find us. Easiest way to do this, and I say it every day, or every show, is that go to ingamechat.net, and then you'll find all the links on the left side of the page where you can reach us in any way. You can watch us on Twitch that way. You can send us an email. You can find us on Facebook. You can send us a tweet. It's all right there. With ways to get in touch with us. So, welcome into the show. Now, last week, we just started diving right into what the news was. We had the Bethesda situation and spent more time than I thought we would on going over the nominees for the Game Awards, which took place Thursday night. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, we'll get to those, but we never really talked about what we had been playing. So, it's been a few weeks now, and I will start with RJ on what he has been playing.
I've been playing a lot of GTA Online. Had a lot of drug deals go bad.
So GTA Online.
Yeah, everything goes bad in that game. The griefing was at an all-time high, so I was looking for stats and things to help me lower the rate of griefing in there, and it was pretty good.
It's called single player.
No, right. No. Basically, if you set your settings to, it's just one little setting. Set it to free aim instead of
aim assist.
Aim assist. Yeah. It'll put you on a lobby because most people play on aim assist console because there's no way you're going to accurately get the fine tuning of aiming with a controller as you will with a mouse and keyboard. Not like that. So I went to free aim and it was as they said, the rate of griefing went down dramatically.
Nice.
So I was able to get some deals done more often than not.
Good to know.
So that was helpful. A little bit of Street Fighter V as well. I haven't played the game in months, so I was thinking I was just going to knock the rust off, play a few games, got a few casual matches in. Not to the point where I can just go in there and start playing ranked matches yet. I want to get some more matches under my belt before I do that, because I do want to eventually get to gold rank and up and above. So I think everybody's at the game. As long as the game's been out, I think everybody's at silver. I mean, I'm in silver, but people like platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster, that level because I've been playing it constantly. Also play a little bit of Soul Calibur 6. Got a little more matches of that in. I would have played more, but it is hard to get matches in that game. If you don't have the settings set to anything other than anything is acceptable, it's going to be you're going to be there a long time waiting. So the best thing to do is probably get in touch with friends and get rooms set up and start playing matches that way. Because if you're trying to get ranked matches online, normally you're going to wait a while. Now, outside of that, probably some I think I played a little bit of Pac-Man Championship Edition.
That's always fun.
Doing a little bit of that. Basically getting a lot of games I haven't played in a while, things I need to finish. Speaking of finishing, what I need to do is finish off the DLC for Bloodborne, because I bought it, just haven't played it yet. So I need to finish. That's something I need to do probably the rest of this week. I'll probably put a little Bloodborne in with everything else I've been playing.
And that was pretty much it for you? Mm-hmm. All right. Matt, what have you been playing?
So, during the, I guess, Black Friday sale, I picked up Hellblade. Setsuna's...
Senua's Sacrifice.
Yes. I don't know why Setsuna. That's in a whole other game. Yeah.
Setsuna, that's something else.
Yes, it is. One of those days.
Soul Calibur 4, actually. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, so I picked up that, and I started playing a little bit of that, and I like how it tells you, right, and as the game's loading, before you get to the splash screen or the title card, whatever, it says basically, game works best with headphones on. I'm like, all right, cool. So I put on my headphones, and I just started the game up, and I like how you hear all the voices in your head. and everything, just like how it's like faint and everything, and like in between your left and right ear, and just like all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, this is going to be an interesting trip. I didn't get too far in it, but just enough to like sort of like just a little bit, like you start off, you're on a little log canoe and you're going down the river and stuff, and you start seeing stuff and you hear the voices, and I'm like, this is going to be really interesting.
Did you like turn your head left and right in conjunction with the sounds you were hearing?
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, a little bit, because like you hear something off on your left channel, and like you look left or you look right, and then like sometimes they'll say, oh, over, and like you look in that direction, there's like a body or something, like really, I think I'm going to enjoy that one, but I need more time to devote to it.
I keep thinking that there's going to be some type of misdirection playing in there, like something is going off in your right ear and you start favoring toward the right, but it's something to the left that you should have been paying attention to. Something like that.
I could see that. That'd be neat.
Mm-hmm.
But so I did that a little bit. I did some more Hitman. I want to talk about that later with you. So we'll put a pin in that one. And Red Dead Online.
Oh, you've jumped into Red Dead Online, huh?
Yeah, I played a little bit more of the single player just because like I enjoy that and like doing some more of the single player. But no, I jumped in some Red Dead Online, and it's GTA Online with horses.
Yeah, I'll probably talk to you a little later, but that probably go in detail. But it pretty much, I've played enough GTA Online to realize what was going to happen with Red Dead. It didn't take long for people to start griefing.
Oh yeah,
on that thing.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah. Oh, completely. And it's weird that in the single player Red Dead, I don't mind being an outlaw, right? Because that's the character. Arthur Morgan is an outlaw.
Right.
So I don't mind just randomly shooting just strangers and robbing them and stuff like that, because that's the character.
Yeah.
But for the way I am, when I do the online, I'm like, this is a whole other character. This is someone different.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play him differently. I'm going to role play him as differently. And in my head, this guy is more of a good guy. That's how I want to play it. So I'm like, all right. So I'm just like walking into town, the first town, Blackwater, just like, all right, I want to go check out the casino, in Blackwater. As I'm walking into town, some guy just rides up to me, looks at me, lassos me, and then like throws me in the water and kills me. And I'm like, well, all right, that's to be expected.
Yeah, because this is similar to the first experience I ever had playing GTA Online. This was on PlayStation 3 at the time. Yeah. The first thing I did when I got into the made my character and everything, went to the city, attire outfit. So I go in there, get my attire, and then about 2 seconds after I'm done, I get shot. Dead.
I couldn't even get the attire in GTA Online because as I'm going through the menu system, looking at the different clothes, going, ooh, clothes, how can I address my dude?
Yeah.
They bump open the door and shoot me from outside and kill me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, welcome to GTA Online.
Yeah.
And the exact same thing has happened to you with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, and so all right, you know what, fine, that was all right, this person. So I started steering clear, and I was going a different way to get to Blackwater, and then I got sniped and shot, and then it just kept on being like that. And I'm like, I understand, it's supposed to be the Old West. I get that, and the Old West, had a, I guess, reputation or a mythos about it that, it's kind of the unruly, it's, it's the Old West, right? All right, I get that. But it wasn't like this.
Well, it's the same with the Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. And so, it's just one of those things.
Same game, different time zone.
For me,
time period. Yeah.
Just how I am, what I would love is if I'm playing cards and I cheat and the guy just pulls out a gun, yeah, fine, that's awesome because I got busted, cheated, you got me. That, role play a character for this if you're online. Let's do something like that, not just random psychopaths with just murder sprees because you can. And I'm like, all right. So I got up with a posse with some people, and it was just. It's one thing if a posse goes against another posse, that's fine. But just the random violence. It's like Westworld. If Westworld was in a video game, that's kind of how it was. Just the random violence of it all. And I'm like, I see potential there to have fun with friends, but at the same time, it as a single player, it's kind of like a hellscape.
You need friends. You need friends to stay safe.
Yeah,
you need friends to do.
You
what
do
you
need a
do.
posse.
You need a group of folks. You need a group of trusted friends to do that, because that's what happens with GTA Online.
Yeah,
a lot of things you have to do. A lot of things. Way to make money most efficiently in that game, you're going to have to do in a public lobby. And so you're going to need protection to help you get your stuff sold and things like that. Because a lot of things you have like a warehouse full of stuff that you got to sell, right?
Yeah.
But to do so, you're going to have multiple vehicles, like 3
or
to
even
4
the
vehicles.
heists or stuff like that.
Yeah, the heists. You got to have things like that. So selling the product was like I had to have those 3 vehicles. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're only by yourself, you're going to have to go back and forth, and probably in a run out of time, you're not going to sell your product. Yeah. So you're going to need a group of folks to help you do so. And some people have gotten friends to not join their crew. They'll just be out and about, free. And if they're not a part of your crew, they're not going to show up on the map. So if someone does try to grief you, they're not going to see the hidden partner person hovering above you in a $5 million attack chopper. Yeah. So when you do try something stupid, you're going to get a missile in the face, and that's all said and done. You're not going to bother them anymore. And
especially in GTA Online, the thing that annoys me is like there's so much wonderful weapons and vehicles and everything that you have to play the online aspect to get. You can't just get that in the single player, like the hover cars and the hover bikes and all these crazy things that you could do in GTA Online that's like sort of like walled off behind the online aspect that I don't want to be a part of. You know, because the older I get, the more online is just like not my cup of tea. It's not my jams. You know, unless I'm playing with people that I know, people that I like. You know, I mistakenly had it the Red Dead Online in like open talk and everything because I was like, I'm still trying to go through the menu system to get the talk to be, you know, where I just don't hear everybody, and I hate that. You know, I'm not a prude. But just hearing just constant, ugh.
Yeah, so there was no option to turn everything off.
There is somewhere in there. Okay. I didn't find it yet. You know,
I'll
look through it some more if I decide to go back online. But like, I don't know if I get like a group of friends together, I could see having fun in that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen plenty of videos where people are in a group and they do a lot of fun things in GTA Online. I'm like, that looks like great if you have the right kind of people that aren't. But they always do it in like a private session. You know, they very rarely do it in a public server because public servers are the worst.
Yeah, there's a method that someone has made. I think it's called the solo public session. It's something to do with like joining someone's game, and then when you quit out of it or something, it's some complicated process. Or some people do something with their routers to make a setting on their router change to make it a solo public session, or things like that. I think one of the biggest concerns I got with Red Dead Online, I'm trying to think of the equivalent of all the things that you can do in GTA Online. How's that going to equate to Red Dead? Because you got like nightclubs, drug business, and drug sales, things like that, all this stuff.
I mean, banditry, but I mean, like making money in it. You can make millions and millions and millions of dollars in GTA Online, right? In Red Dead Online, you know, you loot someone, you're making 5 cents, 10 cents. Ooh, I made $1 here.
Well, no, it's not that. So, it's the amount of variety.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the equivalent of a nightclub in the old West? A saloon?
A
saloon, maybe? Yeah. Or the drug trade.
Yeah.
Shipping. Having to fly your product from point A to point B.
Yeah.
I mean, traveling was
on horse or by cart.
Yeah. Traveling was an issue in that game, right?
Train. Oh yeah, train too.
Train. Okay.
Yeah.
Do that.
But
that's the thing is the amount of variety you're going to have online, the amount of activities you're going to have in there. I mean, you're going to have to be pretty creative, I think, to come up with enough variety of things to do to keep people satisfied.
Yeah. Maybe it'd be different if I had like a group of people, you know, like in Destiny, like with a raid or something like that, where, you know, as much as I kind of got burnt out on Destiny,
if I could ever get one,
it was still the atmosphere there was different. You know, it was more cooperative than adversarial.
Yeah.
Whereas Rockstar games are just like nothing but griefing adversarial. You know, occasionally you might find someone that like just like, oh, hey, there's a random person helping me. That's kind of different. I like that, as opposed to just I'm just getting shot left and right.
Maybe I've been jaded too much, but I think there was someone doing that for me today, but I didn't recognize that. I just immediately, someone's trying to grief me, quit the session.
Yeah.
But then I realized, oh, wait a minute.
Maybe they weren't.
He was shooting at the police chasing me, and not me.
Not you.
Sorry about
that.
Too
late now.
Too late now. I already left the session, which is what normally happens when so I won't have to lose $350,000 worth of product that I could put in my bank. So
Yeah, so I'll continue with the single player because I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the multiplayer. Just for my cup of tea, I don't know. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I didn't bite on Fallout 76. Well, one of the several reasons why. Because, I don't like people online for the most part. Unless I know them. And I know, I enjoy people working. I like cooperative multiplayer.
Yeah.
I like that. Everyone working together for the same goal. Not just, and I don't know. I don't know what I want.
You probably feel the same way I did about Destiny 2, the why I don't like the Crucible. Why I only go to the Crucible when I absolutely have to because of a perk I need to pick up or something like that.
But at least the Crucible, I know going into it, that is...
Yeah.
I know it exactly. That is PvP.
That's PvP. But at least
I know
team,
that.
At least I have a team with me. So we're working together on that
it'd be
part.
different if, you're just walking around the world of Destiny 2 and, just people just start shooting at you. Instead of everyone cooperating or hey, look, there's a random spawn monster, let's all go after it. If you're like, oh, look, there's someone and they start zapping you with a laser gun.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, really, dude? So
yeah, it'll take a little getting used to, but yeah, just give it time, I guess, and we'll see if, like I said, if it'll get better over time or whatever. Probably won't, but still.
But yeah, other than that, Hitman, I can't wait to talk about the Hitman. Pew pew.
I played
Finger guns.
Spider-Man. Did I play Spider-Man?
I hope so.
You need to beat that one.
I know, it's kind of like
I feel like you're getting close.
It's my cat. No?
No?
It's my casual. It's my... Let me knock out a mission here. Let me knock out a mission there. Let me clear this part of the map here. Let me clear this part of the map there. So it's just my sort of, I'll go in and play when I feel like playing. And I'm overdue on putting some time in with it just so that I don't lose the memory of controls.
You're not at the point where it feels like a chore, are you?
No.
Okay, good.
Not
I
at all.
still think one of the DLC should be Spider-Verse where you could play as Spider-Ham.
I know what a chore feels like.
Yeah.
He's played Destiny.
And this is not a chore whatsoever. So
some games can get to
chore-ish.
that point. A chore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, instead of fun.
That's usually when I stop. He said, as he still plays Destiny. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a chore. Actually, you know what? I'm playing with a lot of people, and that's a lot more fun.
That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
So, yeah, I haven't fired up Red Dead in a while. I did play Spider-Man, and...
How far were you in Red Dead? Were you still Chapter 2?
Oh, I'm still Chapter 2. I'm just running the gold glitch and, making sure I'm secure in my future.
Yeah.
Before I move on, or they patch it, which I don't know if they have or not.
I don't know. Like I said, I was doing that $20 glitch, and I have,
it did get an
enough
update.
Money.
It got an update recently, but I don't necessarily know if they patched that out, but it did get an update. So, yeah, Spider-Man I played. I did play Hitman, and...
me happy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that probably in the next segment here.
Yay.
And of course, I played Destiny a lot of Destiny, only since Tuesday, really, because there is a lot of issues, but season 5 started.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Season 5 started a week ago. So not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. That's when Season 5 started. At that time, there were some new things that you could pursue. There were some new things of, get this many kills in the Crucible. And there were new steps to quest for Crucible, Vanguard, and Gambit. Gambit being a PvP thing, Crucible being a PvP thing, but Vanguard being just strikes and bounties and things like that. But they put you on the path that you could start on these things. And it's probably a very long quest step that has you doing certain number of things with weapons and, bounties and things like that. So
The grind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a total grind. It's something that's supposed to last the length of the season,
Right.
You just play normally and eventually you'll get there. So that's the only thing they updated when they started Season 5. They kept the cap on your level at 600, even though Season 5 will let it go up to 650. The new content, the new stuff for you to play, and the ability to move past level 600 opened up Tuesday.
Okay.
And hardly anybody could do anything. The requirement for the first forge was, I think, 615, and it was a grind to get up there. So James and I were just sort of the situation of, let's get all our stuff done. Mm-hmm. So we ran through the dailies, and we ran through everything that gave us powerful gear so that we could move our level up. And I think we got up to about 604, 605, and we tried to do the forge, and we could not do it. We couldn't.
Okay, when you say the forge, is this something like the ones on Osiris DLC for Mercury? Forge items, get all these items?
No. It's not necessarily like that. This is a...
Because I like those.
Yeah,
I like those.
You get a weapon frame. They give you a weapon frame for your inventory, and the weapon frame requires you to do a couple of things first before you go and forge the weapon.
Okay.
Get this many kills with certain weapons and kill this, blah, blah, blah. You go through some steps before... and inevitably you have to go to the forge and craft the weapon.
Okay, this reminds me of what happened with Warmind. Get this weapon, now kill stuff with it, and you'll get the second step. They'll get that laser at the end. It's some fancy looking tech laser, something fire based. I can't remember what it was, but it was everyone was raving about it. But you had to get a lot of kills with this Magnum. I mean this Magnum pistol that you got from there. Then you got the next step. And you had to get a lot of kills with that, and then you went up and got another bunch of kills with the other weapon, and just incrementally.
No, it's nothing like it's nothing like that.
No.
They give you so the first frame that you get is a frame for a machine gun.
Okay,
and so it's a power weapon, and the thing that they want you to do is retrieve a core from an event that pops up on Earth. In two different places, so you have two options as to which way to go and go get that core.
Okay.
A boss drops down, and there's loot chests that are protected. You kill the boss, you can get into the loot chest, and that'll give you the core.
Okay.
Once you obtain the core, you're also supposed to kill I don't know how many fallen to obtain some sort of weapon resource. Anyway, once you fill up those two items on the thing, it switches to something else. And the something else, I can't remember what it is, but it's something like get this many power weapon kills, because your machine gun is a power weapon. So get this many power weapon multi-kills, which when you have the Thunderlord, by the way, that's easy to do because of the chain lightning that comes with it. So that was fantastic and easy, and that was fine. Once you finish that step, it's like, okay, go to the forge and craft your weapon. The forge now is not something where you turn this in and a weapon gets crafted. The forge is now an activity. It is a wave of enemies that you have to kill and ignite the forge with.
Joy.
Yeah, I know. And that was set at level 615. And there's 3 waves in each forge. The first wave, it gives you 1 minute to kill enemies, and certain enemies, and you'll see them, they glow blue. Certain enemies that you kill will drop energy spheres of some sort. You pick those up, you throw them into the forge.
Okay.
And that will extend your time. And also, once you get 20 done, it goes into Wave 2. Wave 2, the enemy's a little bit tougher. Still, you have 1 minute to drop 20 of the charges into the forge. Once you do that, the boss drops. And when the boss drops, you kill the boss in a minute. You have no extra time, by the way. You kill the boss within the time allotted, and you are able to craft your weapon.
Now, if you fail in any of these waves...
do you have to redo any of that stuff over again?
I'm about to say, do you have to redo something?
No,
okay.
No.
You still meet the requirement. You can just...
you still meet the requirement. You just restart the forge.
Just restart the forge. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
At least you got that.
I mean, it sends you right back. It sends you right back to the beginning of the forge, and then you just... it actually starts the event over with.
Okay.
It doesn't send you into orbit. It doesn't send you to where you have to activate the forge or anything like that. It just puts you right back in there, and you have to do it.
Not so much of a penalty. Just do it. Keep trying.
Try it again.
Keep trying. Keep
trying and trying and trying. So, anyway, we couldn't do that. 615. There were a lot of people on the forums and boards and stuff complaining that. First off, why did you keep the level cap on a week ago when we could have been working our way towards the level we needed to do this activity? Why did you wait until then? Why is it set so high the very first week? There's no way for us to get to that situation to be able to beat this on the current level that we are. For a lot of people, it felt like the content they were giving is just it made no difference because we can't play that content. There's nothing we can do to move beyond that content and continue the quest and the story and everything else. So, in a very quick move, the next day or that night or something, when James and I got done playing, they dropped the level requirement for the first forge. They dropped it by 5 levels, so it became a 610 instead of a 615. This is now better because James and I were at 607, 608.
Okay.
This is better. We still had some stuff to do to drop our to bring up our levels.
Right.
So we did some of that ancillary stuff, the Nightfall, things like that, and brought us up. James and I got up to about 610.
Okay.
Each of us. So we went in there with Random, who is just running rampant over this thing. He's at 617, 620. We went in there with him, and we found our strategy. And we knocked it out. We knocked out the forge, and then the puzzle stuff started happening. The puzzle, because we were able to get this weapon, right?
Okay.
We got this weapon, and within the forge area that you fight in, if you look down sights of the weapon, you'll see things that aren't there when you're not looking at down sights. Symbols and letters and Nordic runes and all sorts of different things. That's when the puzzle aspect of everything started happening. So we were trying to figure out the puzzle side of things, but we spent a lot of time doing that. Finally, we just looked it up on the internet on what to do, and we found some things to do. So anyway, the new person that has... the new vendor in the tower that we have now is giving us bounties. So we have bounties to do now from her, but they're all forge related. So... there is a very, very nasty bug right now, and I don't understand why they haven't fixed this. Ooh, is that a deal? That is not a deal. It's
Forza.
Yeah, it was Forza 4 for $38, I think. I picked it up for $35, so and I already have it. But so with Destiny and stuff, there's more to do. But there's a nasty bug. If you have 2 weapon frames. So right now there's 3 that are available once actually no. There's 3 that are available once you complete your first forge.
Right.
When you complete your first forge, you get the machine gun. It's called the Hammerhead. It's real nice. It's a purple, which means it's not going to eat up one of your exotic slots, and it does some significant damage. So that's great to have. When you go back to the forge, if you do some bounties and stuff, the bounties will drop certain materials that you can then turn in for weapon frames. Weapon frames are going to drop powerful gear, and they're going to be weapons that are Black Armory related. There's a machine gun, which is the one you get. Then there is a auto rifle, and there is there's another machine gun, which I'm thinking is just the same one that you've got. So maybe there's just 2. There's an auto rifle, and then there's a sniper rifle.
Once again, no love for scout rifles.
Not yet. This is just the first of I think 4 forges that are going to be opening up.
Okay.
And the first 2 are open. The first one drops a machine gun, and then you can also do an auto rifle. The second one drops a sniper rifle, and I don't know what else comes with that one just yet because we haven't finished that one.
Okay.
The level thing for that one is like 615 or 620
Okay.
to complete that one. It's up there.
Right.
So the bug that we just discovered, Random had it as well because he went through the forge with us again. He had already completed his forge, and so he picked up the sniper rifle frame, which you have to do in the second forge, not this first one. But he wanted to get us through the first forge James and I hadn't done.
Helping y'all out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he did that. He went through and he did that with us. And then when he checked, his sniper rifle frame was gone. Yeah. So we found the bug. Well, we didn't find it. We looked it up, and the bug was that if you're carrying 2 weapon frames, if you complete one of those, it is going to eat up the other one.
You can't put it back in storage or something? Back on
It's in the pursuit tab, so you can't put it in storage. But you also can't retrieve it. You can't go back to her and buy it back from her. It's a nasty bug, and it shows a lot of what's the word for Bungie? That thing when you don't test.
Incompetence,
maybe, or just that whole thing of like we didn't follow through on this, How could this? How is this something that wasn't tested? How did this not get figured out in testing? That if you hold 2 frames and complete one forge, the other one's going to get knocked out of your inventory. How was this not caught? How did Q&A not catch this?
How did this get this far?
It's one of the simplest things that you're pretty sure that people are going to be doing. I don't understand how they didn't catch this.
Yeah, lack of quality assurance.
Indeed. I get when it's a strange, there was a strange glitch that popped up that locked players out of their characters. And that's when their inventory was so full that a bounty that they picked up, because sometimes when you disassemble weapons, a bounty will pop into your inventory. It's like, oh, nice. Here's something to go do. Well, if your inventory is full and you disassemble a weapon and a bounty pops in, it goes to your mailbox. Bounties have a 24-hour timer on them or something like that from the time you get them. Yeah. Well, if you leave that bounty in your mailbox and it expires, you are unable to log into your character. There's some glitch with that. But that is so completely random, right?
Right.
I could get them kind of missing that in testing, because you have a ton of pursuit. I have 50, I think. There's 50 slots for your pursuits. So, I mean, I get that it's just a really rare situation for that to happen. This, where you're holding 2 frames and doing one forge, not a rare situation. I don't understand how it got past their compliance department, their Q&A, but it did. And so now they have to be very, very careful when your lack of quality assurance is exactly what I was thinking of, HC, right?
When you're forging.
Yeah, now you have to be very careful about what you have. I have completed the steps to get the sniper rifle frame. It's a whole quest line to get that, because it unlocks the new forge and you get the frame itself. It's a very long quest line. I was helping James this morning with it. But you have to go to her to pick up that frame. So when I get there, it's kind of like when you're turning in some powerful stuff and you don't want to get it yet. You kind of want it to level up with you.
Yeah.
You hit the dismiss button. That way you can get to all the things she's selling, but you didn't pick up the new thing that she's offering.
Right.
So I'm able to get around it by doing that. Just hit dismiss. Don't collect it. Keep doing what I need to do, because a lot of the bounties that she's offering require forge participation, and so I don't want to have any kind of situation like that. And I just really want to do one at a time. So now I'm working on my auto rifle forge, and so when I get that done, then I'm probably still going to hold off, because Random right now has no way. He had to submit a ticket to Bungie, because that's what Bungie is said to do. Anybody that has had this needs to go to their help forums and submit a ticket for this so they can get your account info. They've got to figure out a way to
get you the
frame. It'll either pop up in your post box or...
Yeah, but how long would that take?
I don't know. He can't move. He can't do anything. He can't go any further in this.
Depends on how many people had the same issue, because I can't imagine. That's a rage-inducing
he
mess.
cannot go any further. He is stuck at the first forge. Even if he does the second forge, which he can do, it's not going to get him anything.
No. So why bother?
Right.
There's no benefit to doing it. He's stuck where, like you said, you're stuck where he is. You can't. There's no point in doing it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Bungie.
All because of an oversight, because of that major oversight.
We're way behind on the clock.
Yes.
Very, very behind. We've gone 40 minutes now. We could go for the rest of the hour.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
So Hitman.
Why not? So anyway, we're going to take a very, very, very... I'll try and make it a quick break. And then come back with more of in-game chat here in just a little bit. I want to remind you about our friends at Quality Comics. You can call them at 272-1787 or go online to qualitycomics.com. It is comics with an X. They're located here in Montgomery at 500 Eastern Boulevard. They've got an eBay store as well, and you can see a lot of their stuff at qualitycomics.com. Well, let me put it this way. A lot of their vintage stuff at qualitycomics.com. On their Facebook page, Montgomery Quality Comics, you'll be able to see a lot more of what they have in the store itself. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat in just a little bit. Here is music. There is a theme this week. Here's a music from... I really feel like RJ is going to know this. I'm going to start the music and see if you recognize this.
Okay.
Wait, know the theme or the song?
Not hitting me yet. I think I got an idea.
All right, what's the name of that? Or what's the game that comes from?
Sounds something Sega-y.
Sounds like something from. I want to say it sounds like Marvel vs. Capcom, something from there, but
No, Matt was right.
okay.
Sounds like something Sega would use, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Matt's right on that one.
I'm drawing a blank.
Anyway, music from Power Stone.
Oh, Power Stone.
Yes.
I love that game.
We'll be back in just a bit. And welcome back to In-Game Chats and music here from Resistance, Fall of Man. The main menu music. Like I said, there is a theme, and also, like I said, music brought to you by here from Quality Comics. Check out their eBay store to see more of the offerings that they have that may not be comic-related, maybe some toys or other collectibles there. If you want to see what comic book is related, or the comics that are related there, check out Facebook at their Facebook page at Montgomery Quality Comics, or go to qualitycomics.com. They're located here in Montgomery at 500 Eastern Boulevard. Call them at 272-1787. Okay, getting back into this. We don't have much time to really talk too much about.
No, we don't.
Your Hitman love. And I don't think we have enough time to go over the winners here of the Game Awards.
Apparently God of War won.
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what about real quick that trailer for the new Obsidian game?
We're going to get to those too. We're going to
Okay.
get to everything that was announced as well. We're going to hit the winners and the announcements. So we'll get to that in the next segment here.
New Avengers trailer? I don't know. Just throwing out ideas.
Yeah, I know.
10 minutes of something.
Exactly. So, there's Anthem betas going on. I tried to get into that this morning.
Yeah, I saw you and Nate were having
Me and Nate
issues.
both got into that. And in fact, I think anybody that applied got into that thing from what I understand.
Yeah.
So if you applied for that, there's probably an email saying, welcome, you're in the alpha. Try to play the game. He and I are both trying to get in on PC and could not do it this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he had better luck for the afternoon playtest.
Don't
I'm
know.
not sure. So I know that it's going on right now until 5. It's from 9 to noon, and then it's from 2 until 5.
I'm just not a fan of alpha, like getting into alphas and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I'm
Because
not.
it's so early still early enough in the development.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a finished product.
Yeah.
I'm not even really big into betas, honestly.
It's
because
also not something that I'm necessarily looking to ever get, but I'll play the alpha just to give it a shot and take a look at it and see.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll change my mind. Maybe it changes something, because so far, even beginning with the E3 reveal and everything that they've said so far, I have not enjoyed everything I've looked at, it's like I still don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're getting loot. Well, then how do you apply you picked up a new piece of armor or a new weapon? How do you apply that? They didn't show me how to apply that. They showed a mission, it seems, but I still don't. I don't know what's.
You're not feeling it.
Oh, I'm totally not feeling it. But that's why I want to give it the chance. I want to play a little bit of the alpha, see if I can see what's in there and actually get an idea of what the game has to offer and what it's doing. Maybe I can't tell that from this alpha and the demo that they give.
Yeah, Lethal's saying it's more of a demo than an alpha.
It does come out in February. You know what? He's more than likely right because game studios like to shut down over the holidays.
Yeah.
And this might not be the case for BioWare. This might be one of those situations where, you know how they talk about crunch for games, right? This might be one of those times where it's like, look, we release in February. We got a lot of stuff to fix here. Sorry, folks, you're not getting your Christmas vacation this year. But game studios like to shut down during the holidays. And by during the holidays, it's a window of like the week before Christmas to the end of January.
Yeah.
It's a long time of downtime for the studios, but maybe that's not the case when you've got a game coming out in February. So, yeah, it does have a release in February, and for the most part, I would agree with him when games do these sort of releases. It does feel more like a demo than it does any kind of test. But they're doing stress tests for the server, basically. So that is definitely happening right now. To get all those people in for that.
You ever seen windows like that operated before? Like Windows. I've never experienced the windows like this is only open for like 4 hours and then we're going to stop and then we're going to open again for another 4 hours. I've never seen that before. So
I've seen that before.
I've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's been in some other games. Fallout 76 had that. They had a window for, and there you go. That's something I would give you as a demo over a beta or alpha. When Fallout 76 released, or did that little, whatever that was earlier, that was easily more like a demo than it was anything else.
Like a stress test?
Possibly, just one of those things. But so, and so that's what I'm saying, given what because Lethal Migraine says he's gotten into it, and they're not giving you a lot to do. They have one fetch quest.
Which,
like one fetch quest and that's it. See, that tells me more that it's a stress the servers than it is
play what the game has to offer.
Play our systems, figure out, find the bugs and stuff like that. If it only gives you one mission to do, I don't think that's enough for you to let the community work things out and find bugs and do the thing that a beta and an alpha should be. This feels more like a server test. If that's all they're doing. If they're giving you one mission to do, that's a server test. Get in, do your mission.
See how many people we could pile in here.
Yeah, and then get out, and so, but I haven't been able to get in. I was not able to get in this morning. Drunk Degenerate says you can also do free roam in there as well. So maybe that makes up for it. To a degree. Obviously, you can't go everywhere. Yeah. But I didn't try that yet. I imagine that Drunk is playing it on the PS4. As far as PC is concerned, and that's what I signed up for was PC. I've not been able to. It's tougher to get in? I've not been able to get in. I don't know of anybody that's been able to get in. Forums suggest different. Reddit suggests different, that people are able to get in. I haven't checked for this recent playtest that's going on that started at 2 o'clock, but I'm hoping that tomorrow brings better news.
I'm curious what the majority of the gamers what platform it'll kind of go. If more people would choose, console over the PC.
Probably I don't know. Probably console. And I say that because it is going to be offered in the EA Pass, Game Pass, Origin Pass, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That thing where you pay a monthly fee and you get access to games. It's going to be a part of that. So if you're on Xbox and you're a part of the EA Game Pass thing, you're going to get to play Anthem when it releases. If you're on PC and you're part of that as well, you're going to get to play it when it releases in February. So there's that option, which is why I think, and that's not to say that a lot of people aren't going to be playing on a PS4.
Yeah.
But it feels like, given that option, that there's going to be a lot of people playing it that way. I don't know what the numbers are for the EA Game Pass thing. It's a fantastic idea, and I wish Sony would adopt it themselves. I mean, the Game Awards thing, going back to the Game Awards for a second, they opened with the guy from Sony, the guy from Xbox, and the guy from Nintendo. Phil Spencer for Xbox, Reggie for Nintendo, and I can't remember who was Sony. I'm always missing that on who that guy is who was with Sony. But anyway, all three of them on stage and talked about, everybody wins when we play together. It was just this, this horrible speech. And honestly, I really thought they were going to drop a bomb of, we're announcing cross-play is now enabled between any game that wants to do it, between all of our systems. I really thought that announcement was about to happen.
No.
But no, that wasn't it. Just like, we're just, hey, everybody wins when we play together. But Sony still won't let you
Play with others.
Well, no, it's not that. They won't.
Yeah.
You can't do the EA Game Store thing. You can't do the EA Game Pass on Sony. They won't allow you to.
Yeah.
They don't do it. Microsoft does, but Sony doesn't. I don't understand it. PC does, but PC obviously does a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they do that. I do not know why they're like that, and why they can, trot out a speech of unity when they're not. So it doesn't even have to be the crossplay thing. I'm not actually suggesting that that's the way that they can do that, but it starts there, the EA Game Pass, to just let that, if it's a service that another company is offering that really isn't going to hurt your bottom line, which it's not. It's only EA games that you can play through that thing. So Sony doesn't lose any money off of that. I imagine they do make a little bit of money from games that are sold for those certain systems. Maybe. I don't know. But I just don't see the reason why they block that. Obviously, it goes against their PS Plus thing, but Microsoft's doing the same thing, and they're not in any kind of problem by offering it up on their store. So, I don't know.
They're still leading in sales and profit, right? Sony.
I imagine, yeah, probably, very much so.
That's probably why they're reluctant.
Although Nintendo had the largest numbers for the Black Friday season as far as Switch sales.
Yeah.
That's great for them, good year, but it's not hurting any of the other two, really.
Yeah.
So, Thar says the show is a little too long, though. They should wrap it up sooner, yeah. It was a long one. I fell asleep through it. And I can't remember when I fell. I want to say it was the Dragon Age promo that was up there, maybe. I can't remember, but I did fall asleep through the Game Awards, and I don't remember waking up to the Game of the Year announcement, or I missed a lot of stuff.
How long was the show?
Was it 3 hours? This guy, Thar, says it was 3.5 hours almost.
Yeah, no. It shouldn't be that long.
It started at... Did it start at 8 or did it start at 7? I want to say it started at 8, and they did the pre-show for like an hour, so it was from 7 to 8.
I'd probably like to ask anybody who watched it how much was filler and how much was actually relevant to your interests.
Yeah, and I want to say it was over with it. It wasn't even over with at 10:30. I think it was over with, maybe it was around 10:30, but I was asleep. I was out.
Yeah.
I remember waking up at some point, and thank God I got everything voice activated. I told Alexa to turn off the TV, and I just crashed back to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, yeah, I missed a lot. Had to watch a bunch of stuff the next day, as far as that's concerned. Anyway, we're about to hit the top. Is this Chris? Yep. All right, we'll talk to Chris real quick here so we didn't have to wait through the break. And, hey, Chris.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey.
Not much. What's going on with you, man?
Well, it sounds like from y'all's Red Dead experience, I'm not going to get on the online version of that at all as well.
Well, I mean, if you played GTA Online, if you enjoy it, then I could, assume.
Yeah, private service for friends, but yeah, all the griefing and stuff.
Yeah.
I've heard enough from what y'all talking about this afternoon.
It's like Matt said, if you play GTA Online, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
You know exactly what's coming.
I was hoping for different, but, whatever.
Well, and of course, to keep beating the dead horse, but your buddy's right about Fallout. It's not like that at all, but I'm still enjoying that one as well. But, yeah, I would have been able to, I tried to tune into y'all's show last time, but we had a wedding, and, of course, right at the time of the football game, but cool thing was when they got the reception and all done, they pulled out a big projector screen, about a 100-inch screen, and put the football game on, so everybody was sitting down watching the game at the wedding.
Yeah.
But y'all been doing okay?
Yeah, doing good, man.
We'll be doing good.
And
yeah.
good to hear from you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good.
There's delay. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you calling. I didn't want you to wait through the whole break there, so I just wanted to grab your call before, because I think I remember we didn't hear from you yet last weekend, did we?
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Yeah, we had the 2 calls. Spigot called and Multal called.
Yeah.
To make up for Chris's absence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, well, it's good hearing from you, and thanks for calling.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
Take care, man.
Stay dry and warm.
All right? Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we will talk about the Hitman. We will talk about the Game Awards, the winners, and the announcements that were made there.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that Fallout 76 stuff. More stuff happened in between now and or the last time we talked about it. More, they were on an uphill climb. There was things were getting better.
They were?
And then they were, yeah. And
I'm sure about that.
Yeah, no, they were. And then it all fell to pieces again. So we'll get into that. Here is music from...
Power Stone,
yeah. This is a game called... And this is going back a ways. That's probably... No, it's going back... It's after Power Stone. But it might not be very well known. They actually made a sequel out of it, but I never actually played it. It's a game called Cell Damage.
I remember that one.
And this is called Wild Willie West. We'll be back in just a bit. And welcome back to In-Game Chats. This is music from what game, RJ?
Altered Beast.
That is correct. Didn't even tell him before. I just knew he was going to know.
Why? It's from Yogway.
Yeah. This is the transformation theme.
Yeah, when you get all the orbs and turn you into whatever beast for the stage, this is the music that plays. Yep. That's when the fun starts.
Yeah. The dragon was my favorite. The Electro Dragon.
The electric dragon, yeah. Kick does the electric field, and Punch does the blast from his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, the punch from his punch. He does electric punch. I think the bear was my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Bear breath, turn you to stone.
The bear breath.
Mm-hmm.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's go over the winners of the Game Awards. Just do that.
Sure.
Just get that out of the way right now. I'm not even bothered, but I'm not going into the esports moment. I don't care. I don't know who the esports coach is. The esports host? Esports event. It's interesting that it's called the LOL World Championship. League of Legends.
League of Legends, yeah.
Esports team. Esports player was Sonic Fox. Mm-hmm. I will say that. And apparently he was the highlight of the entire show with his speech.
Stole the show, I keep hearing.
I watched the speech live, and I had that feeling. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is great. This is wonderful. Because he walked up there in his whole furry suit.
He was in a furry suit?
Oh, yeah. He's furry.
You don't know Sonic Fox, do you?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. They expect fur.
That's his fursona?
Okay, you want to put it that way? Yeah.
No, he owned it, and he celebrated it, and it was really, I really enjoyed. That was the highlight of the night for me as well, just to see him win and see his excitement for winning just pour out of him, and he didn't know what to do with it. He didn't know. It was just this whole. He was out of breath.
Yeah, it's like when he wins at tournaments.
Yeah. He was out of breath, but he was smiling the entire time. Everything in his voice said he was happy about this, and he was grateful for it. So,
good on him then.
Yeah. Best esports game was Overwatch. Content creator of the year was Ninja, the Fortnite streamer guy on YouTube. There's already some controversy about that. The fact that he says that he doesn't play with female gamers.
Yeah.
He says, I refuse to play with female gamers, which is a little bit discriminatory, but...
He has every right to be a jerk.
He does, but he got awarded for it.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. Although, some of the argument says that it says best content creator, not best person.
Yeah.
I see it more as a reward to the content that is created instead of the person. And yeah, this is somebody said that I see this as one of those times where it's quantity over quality. The guy's got a massive following, and while it may not be quality work, he's just a big name.
Yeah.
So that helps. Best debut indie game was The Messenger. Best student game was Combat 2018. Best multiplayer game was Fortnite.
Of course.
That is, I believe, the only award. Nope, it won one more award. Was nominated for a lot, I thought, but that was it. Best strategy game was Into the Breach. I really want to play that. Best sports racing game was Forza Horizon 4. Best family game was Overcooked 2. Best fighting game, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Is that called Fighter Z or Fighters?
Fighter Z.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z.
No, I'm just saying that Jeff Keighley didn't know how to pronounce it. He called it Dragon Ball Fighters.
Really?
Yes. When he was reading the nominations and then the winner, he called it Dragon Ball Fighters.
Good job, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Best role-playing game, Monster Hunter World. We're still out on the definition of role-playing game, but okay. Best action-adventure game was God of War. Best action game was Dead Cells. And I see Nate is in there.
Yep. Hey, Nate.
Something else to say is that Nate has now started playing Destiny with us as well. He got in, and I've got him invited. He's invited he's on the PC, and he is in the clan now. I looked at his character yesterday because he was just starting out, and dude still hadn't unlocked a super, so I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen that opening character screen in a long time to see you own weapons that don't even have color. You know how it goes green, blue, purple, yellow? His were white because he had just started out, so it had been
starter weapon.
Oh yeah. He's working the grind.
I can't do that whole intro level.
You won't have to. You don't have to do it again. Or I will tell you,
it is like to do another character and and then to be able to transfer my stuff over, like what I would have done. Like if I want to start a Titan, I've never done a Titan.
How many characters did you make? Just the one?
I think I have 2.
Okay. Well, if you got 2, that's fine. The third one, you can do what I'm going to do, which is use that power boost and skip all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. The third one, you get a power. When you get Forsaken, it comes with a boost of power thing to get you up to level 50 or 30 or something. And so you can skip all that. It basically gets you through
all
the main game. you know, and,
Which is
and most of the other
if
stuff.
you've beaten it already,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
several times over.
So you won't have to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that when I create my third character as well. Where were we? God of War, Dead Cells. Best VR game was Astrobot Rescue Mission. Best mobile game was Florence. Best independent game was Celeste. Best game for Impact was Celeste.
All right.
The best performance went to Red Dead Redemption 2. Roger Clark, who plays Arthur Morgan. The best audio design went to Red Dead Redemption 2. The best score went to Red Dead Redemption 2. The best narrative went to Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'm sensing a theme.
You are, but then it stops. The best art direction went to Return of the Obra Dinn,
Okay.
which I'd like to play.
And I mean, that reminds me of the games I used to play back in the 80s on my Apple.
Yeah.
You know?
Best game direction went to God of War. Best ongoing game went to Fortnite. And Game of the Year was God of War, which is interesting to see because I really thought Red Dead was going to win that one. Spider-Man didn't win anything.
He won our hearts.
Somebody else said that.
Oh.
No, I'm not kidding. Somebody else did that.
Okay.
No. In like a thread of I was looking at the awards. Like Spider-Man did win. It won our hearts. It won in our hearts. So yeah, those are your. Yeah, there it is. I thought Spider-Man would have won something. Just a special spot in our hearts.
Yeah.
And that's the real prize, isn't it?
Spider-Man's the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. And the other guy says, it's not the real prize, it's the first prize of losers.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten to the Stanley cameo yet, have you?
Oh, God, no. You'll know what I do.
I thought that was a lot earlier. I didn't know how late it was.
You know when I'll get there.
Yeah.
You know when I will.
It's my favorite so far.
Let me see how long this is going to take to load up because it's nothing but YouTube clips. It's all the big announcements that were made at the Game Awards.
So I want to talk about one
2019.
announcement.
Well, we'll get to it. And when we get there, you can talk about it.
In my utter meh.
We're not going to go completely in order here because they leave off some of the smaller ones, but the first real big one that was a very big surprise was Ultimate Alliance 3. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 Black Order. It's a game made by Team Ninja.
All right.
Very good studio.
Yeah.
And it is a Switch exclusive.
Which I hear ticked a lot of folks off.
Probably.
Whatever.
Facebook blew up about it.
Whatever.
That's for sure.
Spider-Man's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. Switch is allowed to have exclusives.
You know? I'm
And
not on.
Still ticked a lot of folks off.
Are you upset about it?
No.
Okay, I was curious. I mean, you know.
I just noticed that when you mentioned that title, I remember my page on Facebook just blew up with a lot of anger over it being a Switch exclusive.
Yep, complete Switch exclusive. I had no idea there was still something they were going to do, but yeah. So that was a pretty. I thought, wow, that's a really big one to kind of come out of the gate with. Far Cry New Dawn was announced. This is more like what was
That's the one
Dragon, whatever. What was
Blood
it?
Dragon.
Is this more Blood Dragon-y than it is? Like,
it doesn't feel. I would say no. In the fact that Blood Dragon was a smaller DLC sort of.
This feels like a
and
proper expansion.
But it's the entire map of 5. Wait, 5, 4, 5? Yeah, 5. Yeah, I forget. But no, it's the entire map of 5. So at least Blood Dragon was a smaller map.
Oh, okay.
It was a smaller thing. This is a reskinned 5. After
it seems to take place after the story,
after the ending of 4, after the ending of 5.
Yeah.
I think 15 years later, and I watched a video on it. And normally I like the Far Cry series. This one I don't know. Maybe I'm done with it. Am I getting that old grumpy guy in my older age that I'm just like,
No, I mean,
you know what? I want something new. That's what I liked about 3 was different than 2. 4 was different than 3.
This isn't
5 was different than 4. It was all right, but this is just like, here's more of this, just with more green and pretty colors. And
but do you want him? So you want him to keep making a Far Cry game year after year?
Not year after year.
Well, that's what it would have been. I mean, Far Cry came out in March.
Yeah, but I mean,
so with a new announcement,
there was a couple years between 3 and 4.
Right.
So don't do this game.
No, there's a couple of years between 3 and 4. This doesn't have a number. This is not Far Cry 6 New Dawn. It's Far Cry New Dawn. It is directly related to Far Cry 5.
I forget about Primal too.
Yeah, it was Primal too.
But Primal was a big whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I don't remember when that came out.
In between 3 and 4.
It was between 3 and 4.
Yeah,
like they've done yearly ones, and I don't doubt that come March or I don't know, come E3, we'll get another trailer for a Far Cry 6. It seems like they like to release these things in a very fast way, enough so that it seems like it's going the way of the Assassin's Creed series.
So what are you saying? Is it a DLC or just a standalone game?
Standalone.
I'd say it's standalone. It's a standalone game.
It's a standalone game, but does it feel like a DLC?
It's a standalone.
The way you're describing it, it feels like a DLC. Sounds like it feels like a DLC to you.
It's standalone, but I imagine that if you've got a save from the Far Cry 5, things will carry over into
I don't
it.
think it will because it's not the same character.
Well,
It's
like
not-
weapons, and I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I said it was 15 years. You said it was 15 years later?
15 years later.
Maybe not.
You know, it's the same map, just reskinned.
Same
So
game.
you're still in Hope County. You know,
But it's a apocalyptic wasteland.
apocalyptic wasteland with more green and
Okay.
Now. It's Far Cry 76.
No. No. It feels like that. You remember that Fallout Miami that someone did? Someone did a mod on Fallout 4 to make it look like something took place in Miami.
yeah.
That's what it feels. It wasn't DLC. It was just a mod someone did. Is that what this feels like to you then?
To me, it just feels like a stopgap. It doesn't. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just feels money grabby. I don't know.
Maybe.
To me, I saw it and it didn't spark that interest in me that normal Far Cries have had before. Where I'm like, ooh, this looks interesting. This looks something different. This looks. I've been to Hope County.
Yeah.
I've been there before. I beat Far Cry 5. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite of the Far Cry series, but I've been there before, and so I want something different. I don't know where to go from Far Cry 5 that would be different, but this to me just doesn't feel like it. So I saw it, and normally I'd be like on the bandwagon, like, yay, Far Cry coming out, because I enjoy previous Far Cries. This one just doesn't grab me.
Yeah. Well,
So
that happens then.
Perfectly fine.
yeah, which
That can happen, and that's perfectly fine if it does. What else do we get? Hades, which is a Supergiant game.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Which Hades looks like Bastion, what Bastion was.
Yeah.
Looks like what Pyre was. And the surprising thing was that it's in early access on the Epic Games Store. Did you hear that Epic Games launched a store this week?
I heard about that.
Yeah. And I think every month, or is it every week or something like that, they're going to offer 2 free games.
I might have to get into the Epic Games Store.
I already created my account.
Well, I already have from back when they did the free
Shadow Complex? Then you've got an account in the Epic Games Store.
I haven't opened that thing up in years.
I hadn't either. I opened it up just the other day, and I had to do a bunch of updating to the storefront. Had to get my password because I had no idea what it was. So it's a game store now, and if we got time, we'll talk about that because there's some stuff to talk about with that game store. Anthem showed a trailer for Anthem. Crash Team Racing was announced, which comes out this summer for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. By the way, it's just like what Crash Bandicoot was. They redone the whole thing. Obsidian's Outer Worlds was announced. We'll see how that goes. I like what I saw, and I'm curious about it, but we'll see how it goes. You wanted to talk about that, Matt?
Just it looks interesting.
Yeah.
I like Obsidian. This, it's from the people that did the Fallout and the New Vegas and I enjoy new IPs. Where as much as it's familiarity's, kind of fun, and I enjoy it. But sometimes a new thing, you're like, ooh, what's this world? What does this have to offer? What is this different? What can I explore? As opposed to like, I'm treading familiar ground. Sometimes I just like a new IP, and so this has me excited. I've come to think of like the ones that are getting me excited for the next upcoming years, like this, Cyberpunk. That one I'm like really looking into. Got my eye on. So as much as like I do love familiarity, like we're saying in the chat room, a new Splinter Cell would be amazing. I've been a fan of Sam Fisher for years now, and I would like to go back into that world. But sometimes just like something new and fresh. Like, all right, tell me a new story that I haven't seen before. I want to see new worlds that I haven't seen before, new creatures. Like when Mass Effect first came out, that was like that newness to that. That was like, this is something I haven't seen, and I love that. So I'm looking forward to this.
Hello Games announced a game that is not
too scared to play an Xbox. I'm too broke to buy one. There's a difference.
The Last Campfire was announced by Hello Games. It was announced as a Hello Games short. Let's see. Yeah, there's really not much information about it, or what we'll expect. That was Sonic Fox's win. Player Unknown Battlegrounds got a winter map. I haven't touched that. Man, this one. Oh wait, that's not the. Is that the one? Yeah, Atlas. Atlas was announced. It's the creators of Ark, the developers of Ark Wildcard. It's an MMO survival game with pirates and dragons and a map that is 12,000 times the size of an Ark server.
12,000?
Yes.
Times.
So when they were showing this off, when they were showing the trailer for this, it was much more pirate themed. And I was like, this looks very Sea of Thieves-ish. It's like we're all working together doing our thing. And then they announced that it was the Ark developers, and I thought this is very much like they're making a pirate game. But then it's got dragons in it and that sort of stuff. I don't know. Very interested in that, though. Much more than I was with Ark and dinosaurs. I am extremely interested. After getting just a taste of what Sea of Thieves had potential to do and couldn't do it, my eyes open up whenever I see somebody else make that attempt. Because maybe they're doing what Sea of Thieves should have been doing. So very, very, it's extremely ambitious, but very interested in see what they do with that. Ashen was announced that it is now available. You first heard about that in 2014, but now it's on Xbox and PC. Dragon Age 4 got a teaser. We don't know much other than that.
Yeah. Stranger
Things gets a game for, I guess, the third season. We'll have a game based on the third season. 16-bit co-op adventure game. So kind of top-down isometric view type thing. So,
which if it was 16-bit, I don't know. 8-bit, sure. Because that's the time frame. The 80s. 80s wasn't 16, but that's the 90s, early 90s and stuff. So to me, if it was like 8-bit, all right. I'd appreciate that more. That would be, to me, staying more true to the source material.
What year does season 3 take place?
Well, I mean, they're not, 5 years later. I'm assuming it's still like mid to late 80s. So that'd be NES time frame, not Super NES.
We don't know. Maybe it starts in the 90s and then flash back to the 80s or something. I don't know. Maybe there is a time travel component to it, where they go into the 90s. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see. Mortal Kombat 11 was announced. Comes out April 23rd, and we'll have more details on it January the 17th.
So this is the 11th in the series, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember them being... I mean, I remember X, but I don't remember,
10?
Well, yeah, I don't remember the,
You remember
Mortal
9?
Kombat. No, I don't remember Mortal Kombat 9.
9 was the reboot.
Yeah. They didn't put a number on it. They just called it Mortal Kombat.
It was just called Mortal Kombat, but that was MK9.
What about 8? Mortal Kombat 8?
Probably some ultimate variation of 4 or something.
Oh, see, that's not Then it's 4.
The naming
I
in
know,
fighting
the
games
naming means
is
nothing.
ridiculous. Look, just call it was the 9th in the series.
I'm
but they called
looking
it
for
9.
logic in something that is illogical.
Stop.
You know,
Just called 11.
Yeah, 2011 was Mortal Kombat. 2008 was Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. That may count.
Yeah, I never played it.
I played a little of it. It was.
I saw images of it. The Mortal Kombat versus DC.
I remember the craziness with the Joker,
Worst.
and they had to edit the fatality.
Yeah, the
So
worst
it's
hurricane
gone-
kick ever.
Yeah, it's gone Mortal Kombat, then 2, and then 3.
Yeah,
Then
that
Ultimate.
makes sense.
Yeah, then there was Ultimate 3.
Which is still 3,
Yeah, then there was Mortal Kombat 4.
which is 4. All right, I'm still there.
Then there was Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Then there was Mortal Kombat Deception. Then there was Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Then there was Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe.
And I've lost track already.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of other little
Yeah.
ones in the middle, like
There's a
MK
bunch of
Trilogy.
stuff. Yeah.
Sub-Zero.
More K Trilogy,
Yeah.
Sub-Zero Mythologies, things like that.
There was Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition, which was on Game Boy Advance, and then there's a bunch of different ones. And I'm strictly sticking to the ones that were this is a sequel, you know, because it says out to the side, it's like here's a sequel, here's an update. This is a sequel, this is an update. 4 was a sequel to 3. Mortal Kombat Gold was an update of MK4.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance specifically says sequel to 4. And then this says sequel to Deadly Alliance. That was Deception. Sequel
up
to
to
Deception was Armageddon.
7. Then I guess if you consider Mortal Kombat DC would be 8.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe was probably Mortal Kombat 8, only for the fact that it says it's a non-canonical crossover title set in an alternate timeline between MK2 and MK3. But I'm thinking they're counting that because the next one is 2011 when they
remake.
reboot it to Mortal Kombat.
Then they should have just called instead of Mortal Kombat X, call it 2 if they're rebooting. I don't know.
Yeah, then it was Mortal Kombat X, which was a sequel to 2011's game. Then there was XL, and then now there's Mortal Kombat 11.
Or just stop with the numbers altogether.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Go back to your subtitles. What else came after that? Fortnite got a new thing. I have no idea. Smash is getting a Persona character in the DLC. Don't really know much more on that.
Some dude named Joker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Journey to the Savage Planet was announced. Psychonauts 2 and Rage 2 were... Well, Psychonauts 2 was shown, and Rage 2 was just kind of shown again.
Yeah.
Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey, was played on stage and announced on stage. The guy who made Assassin's Creed, he showed some of that off. You play as an ape in Africa, and it's like the beginning of man type situation. So maybe you're not playing an ape. Maybe you're actually playing what is it? Australopithecus? Isn't that what that is?
Depends on how far back you want to go.
Yeah, well, they're going way back, man.
If they don't have a monolith somewhere in there hidden,
Right.
they're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So, those were, and if there are any that I missed, just throw them in the chat room if you wanted us to talk about them. That pretty much covers most of the big announcements. There was a lot, man. There was...
Well, you got 3 hours worth almost.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you're I love getting game announcements. I do.
Yeah.
I love them. It's great. It's like, oh, you guys are working on this, and you're going to release this. It's
Cool.
fantastic when they do it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it very much. But you need to do one or the other. You really do. If you're going to do an award show, do
Just
an award
do
show.
an award show. If you're going to do
it.
an announcement show, do an announcement
Yeah, and
show.
cut back on your announcements. The only but see, that's their thing. The only reason that they get...
The people watching.
The only reason they get the viewership they get is because of those announcements, which brings in the money for the sponsors, and so that just keeps things going. So they kind of got to balance that. But that's okay. Stop doing the awards thing. Just call it... I don't know. There's got to be some other way to mix that in there.
Yeah.
Because it was ridiculous. They would come back, and for whatever reason, they would come back to Keeley on there, on stage, and they would show a world premiere, And then they would come back to him, and he said, yeah, that game comes out on whatever. Coming up, we're going to talk about, we're going to have so-and-so present this award for blah, blah, blah. Right now, it's another world premiere. And then, boom, go right back into it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was... And that's really where my issue is. It's like either do one or do the other, or back off on one and get more of the other. But definitely change something about what you're doing. I don't think it needs to. I don't necessarily know that it needs to be that full of announcements. Maybe it does, and maybe it needs to be pulled back on the awards. I'm not sure. I'd like to see people get awarded for their effort. For some of the games
recognition's good.
Yeah.
And
I think there's a way around it. I think there's a way that it can be done, or stretched, or done into 2 shows. I don't know. Maybe it's something that Jeff needs to do, where he gets to do the award show, but then he also gets to do whatever all these reveals are at something.
Have the pre-show be just the reveals.
That or the pre-show could be the awards.
Yeah.
And don't call it the Game Awards anymore. Call it something else with. I don't know. Also featuring the Game Awards.
Also featuring, just recognition for hard work for people.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just and Fubo says that half the awards were given away during the pre-show. They were. I was watching the pre-show just to have it on in the background while I was getting ready to get into bed and watch the rest of the actual thing start. And they were announcing world premieres during that, and they were giving away awards, saying, "Okay, here's our coming up, whatever, all this other stuff." It just
maybe do that, and then just keep the big awards for the actual show. Do most of the pre-show with the smaller awards and the stuff but leave the big
They did mostly.
Tier.
They did mostly on that. They did mostly leave that for the bigger show. It was just a sense that here is a show that went on for 2.5 hours if you don't count the pre-show, and I'm sure somebody somewhere has counted how many minutes of screen time were awards dominated and how many minutes of screen time were world premieres.
Yeah.
And I can tell you it is going to heavily skew those world premieres to where if they had only done the awards, I think it would have lasted 30 minutes. If you take every little bit that they use for the awards and edit all out, all the world premieres and everything else, you're going to get 30 minutes of a solid award show. And then the rest of it, 2 hours, nothing but world premieres. It is the way that it felt.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'd like to get into some Hitman talk.
Me too.
I know you really want to. God, everything's just running out of time. Let's go back to break here again. Brought to you by Quality Comics. You can find them at 500 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery, or online, Quality Comics, comicswithAnX.com. If you've got stuff in your house that is comic book related specifically, man, if you've got comic books in there and you're not sure on the price, yeah, sure, you can go online and look. There is no problem in you doing that. But if you find something that's worth some money, the guys at Quality Comics are going to help you protect that to either keep it safe, or they can also find a way to help you get it off your hands if you want to get it sold. They'll buy it from you. They'll help you to sell it. They're fantastic when it comes to the customer service of you taking care of your collectibles, especially when it comes to the comic book world. They're going to give you advice, they're going to give you tips, and they're going to help you do the best you can to take care of that treasured collectible that you might have in not just in the comic book worlds. Maybe it's toys, maybe it's who knows. But they're going to help you out. Quality Comics on the Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery. Call them at 272-1787. Here is music from Panzer Dragoon. We'll be back. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Does nobody recognizes this at all, do they? I wouldn't have either if you just played it for me. There's none of this that I would have recognized if you had just played it for me.
Yeah.
This comes from Super Monkey Ball.
Oh.
Yeah. So far, your theory...
My theme still holds up.
Yeah, your theory still holds up. Matt has suggested that they're all defunct franchises. So far that holds up. I don't think it holds up with the next game.
All right.
Because
you know what the theme is, so you know.
Yeah, because I think they still make ports or they keep making new versions of that game. I'm not exactly sure. But we'll find out. The music, of course, again, brought to you by our friends at Quality Comics. Talk to Brent, Jason, or Lee over at Quality Comics, and they will help you find whatever it is you might be looking for. You're looking for Christmas gifts. They've got the Funko Pops. Those are great. If you get the regular ones, those are great stocking stuffers. If you get the ones that come with like Ecto 1, that's going to be
big.
Yeah, that's going to be something going under the tree. So
Which could be just as well.
Yeah, depending on the kind you get, they make great stocking, or depending on the size of your stocking, they make great stocking stuffers. So do the gift certificates, by the way. So go there and get gift certificates that you can hand out to your family or your friends. You can get them in different. The ones that we give out, $10 off, but you can get them up to whatever you want that you can give, and like I said, those will make great stocking stuffers regardless.
Stop by and tell Lee that Matt sent you.
And he'll say who?
He knows me.
He'll say Matt who?
No, he knows me.
Yeah, but yeah, check out Quality Comics at qualitycomics.com. That's comics with an X, or on their Facebook page, Montgomery.
Scott just busted my ego.
Quality Comics. Well, it's the same thing. Tell them who? Tell them Jay who? You know, bunch of different names. Give them any name, and they're going to say that. They're going to say who? I don't know that person. So the situation with Bethesda, and oh man, there's even more stuff that we're just not going to get to. So earlier this week, they announced that they were going to do a replacement plan for the nylon bags, and they were going to give out the canvas bags. All you had to do was sign up with proof, show your proof of purchase that you bought, that you got what you got, and that they're going to make the replacements. This is good on them. Good for them doing that. You need to do that. They're
putting forth an effort. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of crap.
It would have been easier if they would have just done that in the beginning with.
Agreed. Part of me is thinking that this isn't them. It may be on the PR people who handle the promotions and marketing for them. That might, because, yeah. But anyway, good job. Well, then this happened. Some of the people submitting tickets to get their replacement canvas bag have encountered a surprise. They've been given access to parts of Bethesda's support system, including the ability to open and close tickets, as well as check out customers' personal information.
Not good.
The loophole has since been closed, but not before a number of users on Reddit and the company's forums claim to have been shown all kinds of things that they should not have seen. This guy, for example, says, I am receiving every single one of your support tickets on my Bethesda account. Mostly it's your receipts for your Power Armor set requesting a new bag. These receipts contain all of your info, your email and home address, and the card you used to buy this extremely glitched game. Somebody else says, I went on the support website today to update a ticket of mine, and surprisingly, or not, he says, I ended up being able to see all sorts of tickets with people putting their personal information in them, like receipt screenshots, names, addresses, and so on. There's a screenshot of it, and I don't know.
Hopefully they blur out personal, private information.
I'm trying to see here if they did. Yeah, that's not. These are just the tickets. But you could open those tickets.
Everything Bethesda does is broken.
Yeah. This person sent out a tweet, said, I'm receiving other people's support tickets on my Bethesda account. And I wonder if Bethesda responded. Yeah, this is bad.
Oh, man, that's not good.
In a response, a Bethesda community manager simply said in a forum thread, hi, guys, we've resolved this issue. So apparently they've stopped that, but holy cow. What a horrible situation this has become. By the way, Chris, who calls in every time, he was a recipient of the nylon trash bag instead of the canvas one. However, he did not he did not submit a ticket, so his wasn't in the leak or anything like that. But I'm sure now that they've closed that, he will, he'll submit that ticket. He'll get a canvas bag out of it. So they were working their way up, and then they fell down.
That's a bad
again.
one.
That's
That
a
is
huge bad one.
That's a horrifically bad one, man.
I mean, it's one thing just to have a buggy game that's not fun to play or just terrible. That is on a whole nother level of faux pas.
Shot yourself in the foot.
Oh, man.
Multiple times.
With a rocket launcher.
Epic opened up their Epic Game Store, which we were talking about earlier, and it's really trying to be a competition for
Steam.
Yeah.
So
I'm reading here. I'm trying to see. For quite a number of years, Valve has perceived one major challenge to the dominance of its Steam platform for digital distribution of PC games. Basically, the ambition of major publishers who, were like, hey, we want to get in on this, which is why you got Uplay Store. It's why you got EA, the Origin Store. They wanted their game. For a while there, you remember this, for a while, if it was an EA game and you wanted to play it on PC, you could only get it on Origin. You couldn't get it on Steam. They have since relinquished that, and they're like, sure, buy our game wherever. You limit revenue, this is not a good thing. You should be as open as anything else to make money from all different avenues.
Yeah.
So don't close it off
No.
And get greedy, which, obviously EA was not sure about that. That's the challenge to which Steam and Valve have seen and acknowledged. It's responded to that challenge in ways that primarily appeal to publishers' financial sense, with one hand pointing out the sheer size of the customer base on Steam, which, while the other hand tries to entice them back with sweeter deals on the platform's revenue share. Valve's recent price changes are well documented and discussed, and they're the most clear statement of its priorities imaginable, laser focused on enticing the industry giants back onto the platform. However, what makes Epic Games' new digital store interesting isn't the alternative it offers to those big publishers. It's got a slightly more enticing revenue share, but at present, its user base is, zero. Fortnite, of course, is an Epic game, and that is about as good a title to use as a foundation for a digital store as any other game, but it'll still take Epic a very long time to match Valve's numbers. What makes Epic's store into such a major challenger to Steam is rather the fact that it's attacking from a different angle. Sure, it'll pressure on Valve's appeal to big publishers, but more importantly, it aims to pull the rug out from underneath Steam's feet by directly appealing to the indie and mid-market developers who are the bread and butter of the PC games market. They're offering more revenue. They're offering more revenue to the developers. I think something like Epic only takes 12%, whereas Steam takes 30%.
Yeah.
So it's more than half. More than half, less than half, I guess, of the revenue that the distributor will get from the developer. So the developer is going to pull in much more money.
Tempting.
Yeah. This is a whole long article on GameIndustry.biz, by the way, which is what I was looking.
So
at.
how they gonna keep things sustained?
How is Epic going to keep things sustained?
Yeah, keep taking much less than Steam.
Well, I mean, they are offering free games. Steam doesn't do that. Well, Steam's got free games, but they don't offer any free games. Epic founder CEO Tim Sweeney said that while running Fortnite and selling digital goods through our world's most popular game, Epic realized that 70-30 isn't necessary. In our analysis, stores charging 30% are marking up their costs by 300 to 400%. But with developers receiving 88% of revenue and Epic receiving 12%, this store will be a profitable business for us. Let's see. I'm looking through here.
So, but while hosting the world's most popular game, 70-30 isn't necessary.
The
line you said about while we hosting the most popular game in the world, we are 70-30 is not necessary, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said. So when Fortnite isn't as popular, what happens then?
Yeah. Now Epic is trying to do Steam one better. A 70-30 split might not be appealing to developers and publishers anymore, but how about 88-12? On top of that, Epic is touting scale-tipping features Steam developers have been requesting for years, like built-in bug reporting, opt-in, opt-out user reviews, and a lack of forums and other social media to mitigate Steam's rampant toxicity issues. Developers, it sounds like, will be able to handle things more on their own terms rather than through Steam or having Steam handle. Like, once it's out of your hands, like once you turn it over to Steam, it's in their hands to do stuff with. I'm not exactly sure. In addition, if developers decide to use Epic's Unreal Engine 4 to make their games, they don't have to pay additional royalties to Epic, which is a proposition likely appealing to smaller developers who have already been burned by Steam's new make the rich richer approach. So, yeah. We'll see how this goes. I've already signed up for the store. I'm in the store, and I haven't bought anything with it yet, but you get next week there's going to be a free game, and then a week after that I think there'll be another free game for you. And I think they're doing 2 free games per month, which is amazing if they're going to be able to hold that up. I don't know how
I'll
they're
take
going to do
free.
it. But, yeah. Yeah, Nathan says, I slightly feel Epic is feeling themselves is being a little too confident about this. I kind of feel that way too, but I don't know if they can bring in if they can get some exclusives, or God, if they can beat prices on what Steam offers. I mean, I go where the cheaper price is for a lot of my stuff. So, if they can undercut that a little bit, I really don't care where I play the game. I honestly don't. I used to be big on that. I used to be like, boy, I wish it was out on Steam.
It's all nice under the same umbrella, but
I don't care. I've got what feels like 20 Assassin's Creed games on my PC, and it's all under Uplay. So I just don't care. Being on Steam is not a prerequisite for me.
No.
Not anymore. I've got all the consoles. Being on any of the console does not dictate where I go. How I get your game as far as a price, where people are playing, if it's a multiplayer thing or that sort of situation, can be an issue. But as Destiny showed, it didn't have to be. Destiny was something I stuck with because, oh my God, 60 frames per second was amazing at a 1440p screen with an uncapped frame rate. This is beautiful. Mouse and keyboard on Destiny was fantastic. There's other reasons why I go where I go with games, but for the most part, if I can get a good price, that's where I go. For me, anyway. And now we don't have enough time to talk about it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Talk about it in the parking lot.
We got one more show before we take our Christmas break. Mm-hmm. We have one more show. And I want to get to the Hitman talk. Unless
something major happens.
I don't think anything major between now and then is going to happen.
Famous last words.
I know. Mm-hmm. I say that in the hopes that something major does happen, not because I don't want to talk about Hitman, but because it'll give us something to talk about.
Watch. Bethesda's going to screw up again.
That's a given.
Yeah. Not taking that bet.
Yeah, right? So, yeah.
That's like saying somewhere in the world there's weather happening. Yeah, we know.
Mm-hmm. I know. I want to talk about Hitman. I played much less.
The elusive target.
Yeah, and I played much less than what Matt has.
I've done the elusive target. I've done like 5 escalations already.
I haven't done any of those.
Yeah, I got the because if you do 5, you get like a special pew pew gun, and I got that.
Okay.
I'm on Mumbai right now, so I'm like 9 levels because each level has 20. Each map has 20 levels that you could do for mastery. Mm-hmm. I'm on level 9 mastery for Mumbai. Okay. And, I want to do more, so I could, unlock more, get more stuff, plus also know the map better. Mm-hmm. I really like exploring the map and really getting a feel for the maps before I progress.
And I want to talk about that, too, and that's something that we'll hit up next week. I want to talk about this dude who's suing Epic for stealing his dance for Fortnite. Yeah. I can't... I can't really talk too much about it right now because I think it would go on a very long rant.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the only one.
Which dance is it?
I don't know what it's called.
Is it the floss dance?
The Millie Rock.
Millie Rock?
Yeah, 2 Millie is the guy who is suing Epic. Now, there's a ton of dances in Epic or in Fortnite.
Well, in all of them, you know,
Yeah,
they all have those emotes.
Look,
like
someone put a
Michael
video.
Jackson.
Someone put a video out of all the dances that they got this from.
Yeah, and where the idea, you know, the inspiration.
Yeah, where they come from, and there was.
That'd be like Alfonso suing for, like, you know, you're doing the Carlton. Well,
yeah,
take it as a tribute, man.
Well, there was one lady who had this. She was a pro dancer, and one of her dance routines was in the game. I don't know if they talked to her about it, but I remember that issue. And then you have the guy suing. I don't even know
who 2 Millie is.
It's going to be tough. I've looked over this whole thing. I've followed in some forums about, like, how do you do this, because
can you copyright a dance?
That seems to be the gray area. It doesn't seem to be that dances can be copyrighted.
I mean, everybody knows the Thriller dance. You know, when you see that, you know exactly what that's referencing.
Mm-hmm.
So I could maybe understand in that aspect where...
But there's no copyright on it.
There's not. I mean, it's just, hey, we all know where that came from. That's great. Let's, you know...
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Usually when dances are formed, created, done, they're done for a song. And usually they match up with that song.
Yeah.
And so normally to get the idea of what the dance is, you have to play the song behind it, and that's where you could make your money.
Yeah, because they tell you how to do the moves.
But
it's like the hokey pokey.
When you put it in a video game, you can just do the dance whenever. Then you just have the moves, and you don't have to have the song behind it. Fortnite has a ton of these. Destiny has a ton. And look, if he is able to successfully win this lawsuit,
that's a big window.
Holy cow!
That is a big window opening up after that.
Yes,
if that goes through,
get ready to pay larger prices for these emotes if you want them. Well, get ready to have them removed from the loot pool altogether if you get them from drops, from beating things or winning things or whatever. I don't know how you get them in Fortnite, but I know in Destiny 2 you can sometimes decrypt a free thing, and boom, you got a dance move or something like that. They're going to charge more for those. They're going to take them out from being free altogether. They'll probably take them out of the game altogether just to not have to deal with the royalties that they would have to pay, depending on how this thing goes. But if he wins this thing, part of me hopes he does, then part of me's like, oh, God, please no. Not because I don't want him to get his share, just the amount...
The chaos,
the ripples that this is going to cause.
This is going to cause absolute chaos if it goes through completely.
Think about the games Just Dance that has dance moves in it, and all these other rhythm games. And it spreads far and wide, and it's going to have a massive, massive effect if this becomes successful. And that's something I wanted to talk about. I don't have time because we've got 2 minutes.
Yeah, but if
we have to go.
can't patent copyright the moonwalk, then.
I would imagine his estate can.
His estate can. I keep thinking about the whole thing we were talking about with licensing for music in games. How if you put a game in there, then it'll mess up for you have to.
We get flagged every week for the music we have. Yeah. Luckily, we're not monetizing our videos.
Yeah. Why can't people just accept the praise and the recognition and just be like, hey, this is exposure.
We got to run.
I know.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. This is music, by the way, from Ridge Racer. The very first Ridge Racer.
The original.
Okay. Yes. Nobody could guess the theme, I guess. Did you have any idea, Matt?
You heard my idea.
I have no.
You were trying to look
I was
through
listing them all, and I'm looking at them, and I just could not come up with a theme. I couldn't come up with it.
The theme was they were all launch titles. Alter Beast was Sega.
Oh, yeah.
Power Stone was the Dreamcast. Panzer Dragoon was the Saturn. Ridge Racer was PlayStation. What was the other ones in there?
You said Power Stone, Resistance, Fall of Man.
Cell Damage was Xbox.
Was it Xbox?
Yeah, the original Xbox.
Yeah.
So we got to run, everybody. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.